ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet. Yes, that's right. We are the unwanted spam that arrives in your email. We are the massive king-size Sharpie that plugs itself directly up your nose, and the more it stays up your nose, the more you feel funny. And feeling funny is what we want to do for you tonight. That's right. We want to speak deeply into your ears. We want to invade your brain with news, with things, with thoughts from our brains. We want to transpose brains into other brains. We want to move them around like a shell game. Lord help me, Ashley's going to die, and I don't know if we're going to have a show to do. Hi, my name's Steven, joined as always by her. The person to my left, if you're watching the video. Is it my left or my right? I can't. It's always
what the hell is this? The entire room smells like this, and I didn't even get it close to my nose.
Why do you think Jacob and I were having so much fun moving? That marker was utilized to mark all the boxes that we moved out of your parents' house for several weekends. It's strong.
Oh
And
my god, it's awful. It's not the good. I can't talk and how do you hold your nose and talk? But try not to
do the late nasally thing. You wanted.
Well, I don't.
Cause you can do this. This is what you do when you're a kid. You hold your nose like this.
But what if you
actually think that makes it easier? Like if you try not to do that, it hurts.
You're just mouth breathing. You're just mouth breathing. Hi, Smashy. It's me. I have a very bad flu today.
What? This is the stupidest thing I've ever smelled in my entire life, and also the stupidest sentence I've ever said. This is awful. This is like not the pleasant, like berry flavored Sharpie that they gave you in the 80s because huffing was cool. This is my brain cells. I felt them. I felt them implode upon themselves. My brain just became a red shirt. My nostril. Why?
Well, you want to know the funny thing about that marker is we found it in your parents' closet, and Lord knows how long it'd been in there by the time we found it. I think it was like tucked inside a shoe, and I opened it expecting it to be dry. And I went and wrote with it, and I was like, dang, this is a thick marker. And then we went, this is a strong marker. And then I immediately plugged it back up and went, I'm going to use that sparingly. And then I used it a lot.
The water's deep. The marker's thick. The marker's strong.
That marker was strong. Mm-hmm. Reckon I could put that directly up my nose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good one. So now that you're high as a kite, how you been? How's your life? How are things?
My nose, but everything sucks, Stephen.
Yeah,
I texted a friend earlier that's known me forever, and I'm like, I think I might be a sociopath. And he's like, that tracks, but why? I'm like, this has been happening, and I got hit with this news and this and blah, 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 blah. And we just sold my family home that I grew up in, and like the people were flaming dictards from Alaska, and like, I don't even care. Like, may they have a long and interesting life. So yeah. I'm just like, nothing.
That's the appropriate emotion to have, I think, in that scenario, because what will fury do other than make your heart explode? Like, they don't care. They can't feel your fury from here. And if you go up there and you hand them some fury, if you know what I mean, they'll be like, then you'll be in prison forever. So it's probably best that you just go apathy.
And just yeah, I feel like I've built up this wall, and I keep looking at fudge me in the butt. I really just want to write a message with the Sharpie, and it hurts. I keep looking at the wall, and I'm like, if I can't, Steven, I don't know. I was gonna write you a message, Ace, and this is as far as I got. I'll mail this to you so that you may also get high.
You have very strong olfactory nerves.
No, I don't. That's
open up a can of Whip Fury, but from 6 feet or more, and appropriately matched. Thank you, Henry.
Well, how about this? Like, okay, so
do you need to tell the story? Do you need to let it out on the internet where no one will find it? Because this is the show to do that on.
So we moved to a house that I grew up in when I was 12. Like, it was just, that's where we had all our parties, like all the Halloween stuff. And I grew up there. And when my parents moved down here, there really wasn't a point to have it. So they've had it on the market for quite some time. It's it's an enormous house. It's too big for the area and for what people were buying. So it just sat on the market. And it also had a ton of mom and dad stuff in it from, you guys recall the Million Curse episode where we moved dad's office into that house. So it had 8,000 square feet of shit in top of the already 8,000 square foot shit in the house. This entire room still smells like Sharpie and I'm going to throw up and die. Post pregnancy super smell. I can't smell or taste anything. Like I think that's why I like garlic.
Yeah, you definitely like garlic. It's also because you're trying to ward off all the vampires that want to eat you.
I'm trying to like tampen the turn inside. That would be like a fun book. She
What?
was bitten. She must stop the change.
Is that what you're doing? Like you're eating the garlic to slow down the vampire taking over?
I am Bladina.
Bladina is actually the best. Please, just a quick 3-page short stupid story about Bladina just desperately trying not to turn into a vampire by eating garlic bread at the Olive Garden until she passes out.
Oh my god, that would be so good. Somebody do that.
No, because it's endless breadsticks. So she just walks into Olive Garden. She's like, I would like a glass of water, please, and some breadsticks. And they just come around.
Extra garlic. Dun,
They're
dun,
like, would you like a
dun.
salad? She's like, no. Are you going to leave, ma'am? We're closing. I can't.
You wouldn't want me to leave.
You don't understand. I'll change. And then I'll come back for you.
I approve of this.
This is the
I feel
best
like if
story.
somebody doesn't do this, I'm going to be super disappointed in the world.
I think it's great. And she's like,
How
you
the hell
can't
did
kick
we
me
get
out.
there from there?
She'd be like, you can't kick me out because I live here now and I need a bed because when I'm here, I'm family.
It's even your brain.
Yeah. Oh,
It's magical.
I'm your family. You can't put me out on the street.
When you're here, your family's just trying to avoid the change. It's like some kind of metaphor for like a woman having her period.
Gross. Oh.
You're gross.
I didn't mean gross. It just seemed something about garlic bread and that just didn't seem to go together in my head, and I word vomited gross out. No, it's fine. Your biological systems are fine. Dagnabbit, Ashley, I hate you.
Yes.
You love it. You love it.
Yes. I made Steven feel like a dork.
I don't feel.
Yay!
Actually, I'm sitting here in a blue pineapple shirt. I think I could do that myself.
Who lives in a blue pineapple under the office? Steven.
Does.
Two dorks. Anyway, we sold the house.
Yeah, we did.
I might have called and said some words to the
Did you?
what is those
Did you-
stupid assholes that sell houses?
Realtors. Some
Yes,
of them are good.
I called. I made her hang up on me, which I counted.
Did
as
you
a,
really? What did you say?
She texted my mommy and told on me.
Are you serious? What did you say?
Okay.
We've had a challenging relationship with her. I think it is the easy way to say it. Yeah.
I won't go down that rabbit hole. I'm not overly fond of realtors. I've met one my entire life that didn't just dick over everybody, and that's the one that sold the house that helped my mom and dad buy the house down here. She was fantastic. We invited her to our wedding. Like, just a stellar human and really good at her job. This one was from West Virginia. Ace will appreciate this. So she was not a good human or good at her job. She was pressuring my parents to do stuff I was uncomfortable with, and she wasn't explaining anything, and she doesn't understand the law at all, which I get you don't have to do as a realtor because you do nothing except take 20% off the top because you're worthless. Go fuck yourself.
That's worth two.
Stupid job. So yeah, it was bad. And so I had several conversations with her, and I mean, I'm like, look, just stop talking and listen. Like, I don't care about what you're saying because it's nothing. It's like, it's not, just shut the fuck up and do your job. Anyway, so she pressured my mom and dad into doing some stuff. At one point, she pressured them into closing while they still had stuff in the house. You guys have heard Stephen and Jacob having, that story about them having to go up to West Virginia, and there was this COVID clause. And I was like, look, legally, there's nothing from keeping the now deed owners from going onto the property, whether we have possession or not, and just taking everything in the house, which they have expressed interest in doing before we even close. No, 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 no. That's never done. They would never do that. I'm like,
We
I
said
know these
that, yeah. We
fucktards. Yeah.
said that at the beginning because I remember sitting at the table when your mom was like, "Well, they're gonna go ahead and close on the house, but then we'll keep the possession of the house." And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Keys.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
she's like, I'll keep the keys. And I'm like, they own the property. They
Yeah.
can go onto it and change the locks, which they, after they closed, threatened to do. Anyway, it was real bad. So I called her and I'm like, so I hear the dipshits are threatening to get or they got a lawyer and they're threatening to go onto the property and change the locks. And she's like, yeah, but we stand by our clause. But it was just stupid. It was just stupid. And I got really pissed off at her and I got a little elevated. And I'm like, well, like, do you feel good about you pressuring an older couple into doing what we were asking you not to do and we were resisting? I'm like, can you explain a little about why you felt the urge to do that? I'm like, did you need to make a payment on something? She's like, well, you need to sell the house. I'm like, what we needed was to not have the added stress in our lives, which I was very upfront with you about. And what we needed was I was like, we didn't need to sell the house. Like, you wanted us to sell the house. We didn't need shit. And so, like, she's like, well, I don't have to listen to this. I'm like, do you not need the added stress in your life, Pam? Is it too much? Do you not need it?
So you let her have it then. Well, I think you've made the right move. You called, you unleashed hell on the realtor to the point where she texted your poor mommy and said, your daughter is so mean. She was at school today punching other kids in the face. Oh, were those other kids like trying to pull down her pants and like punch her in the head? Well, maybe.
This bitch is older than me too. And she texted my mom and said, I'm sorry I hung up on Ashley, but I will not be cursed out. And I'm like, bitch, I did not curse you out. If you would like me to curse you out, I will drive the 4 hours and curse you out.
You haven't done yet. Begin to see me curse.
I was calm. I didn't raise my voice and I only dropped a couple F-bombs and they weren't even directed at you.
I'm actually much more afraid of you when you're calm. Like when you're yelling, it's fine. When you're seething, I want to leave the state. I want to go get in my car. I want to put my foot on the metal and go as fast as I can in literally any direction. I'll even go towards Pennsylvania. If I have to. I will, because it's just too scary for me. Thought you'd like
anyway,
that.
but I feel like that seething thing, like that's what I was. And then I did that. And then I'm like, I think that broke me. Because now I feel nothing.
you broke.
Like I didn't even really
switch.
get mad telling the story, and I felt like I should be mad telling the story, but I'm just like, what? This is. Who cares?
You did good work. Well, so and as I aspire to stoicism in my life, I'm kind of in that same place. I'm in the house is gone now. F it. They get to deal with it. It's going to be potentially a money pit for them because there are a lot of things that need to get done to bring that house into the modern age. And I'm happy they have it. Well done. You get to live at a place, and we're happy down here, away from it, and it's out of our hands, and I think that's great news. So yeah,
I'm happy.
I think we all are. So West Virginia, we've left some family there, but otherwise we're done with it. We're in a new world now. It's a beautiful state. Don't want to go back.
It's a hot spot. So that's fun.
Yeah, it's become a good hot spot. Nah, Jim Justice got this. Factoid of the week. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Staring at Goats, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. To help loosen a stubborn knot, roll it with your palm against a rock. For really stuck knots, such as those found in manky-tied slings, soak the knot in water. Conversely, to create a more secure knot, soak it before tying. Cinch it tight and let it dry. That's amazing. I've always wanted to be a knot tire. You know what I mean?
Did you say manky?
It says manky. What's a manky anyway? Am I
I
pronouncing
thought
that
manky
incorrectly?
was like a cat.
I mean, sure. I mean, a manky could
Like
tie
a
a
like
knot,
a manky
probably.
manky cat, manky.
If cats had opposable thumbs, we would all
Pretty-
be dead. They would have demolished us by now. Yeah, I don't know what a manky tied sling is. If anybody knows, hook me up. Oh, Travis says it's a British slang. It's a British
Define
slang.
manky tied slings.
British.
Not found.
So that's pretty cool. One of my favorite jokes in Winnie the Pooh is about knots. You should look. Can you tie a knot? I cannot knot. It's pretty great. Anyway,
That took me way too long. I'm like, oh.
listen. Can you tie a knot? I cannot knot. You cannot knot. Pooh goes, "Who's there?" He said, "Knock knock." Oh, I'm like an old man who laughs at his own jokes in the rocking chair on the front
You're
porch.
such a pure human. I mean, I'm still on what the F is a manky tied monkey.
We are a pair, aren't we? Like, you just get lost in thought for about half an episode. I'm over here rambling on by myself.
I'm hearing this in the background. I'm like, that's such a pure, like, adorable joke. On what the F is manky?
I have a very clean sense of humor. What world news? Barcelona opera reopens with an audience of plants. Okay, this is
Wait,
pretty great.
oh!
It's healthy to talk to plants. It makes them feel better. When Barcelona's Lisieux opera opened on Monday for... I've never seen a cat sneeze her ears off. That was pretty great. Oh, man, that was good. That was for its first concert since mid-March, it did so to a full house of plants. The Grand Teacher de Lisieux filled its 2,292 seats with plants for a performance by the Ukulele Quartet, which it called a prelude to its 2020-2021 season. The string quartet serenaded its leafy audience with Giacomo Puccini's Crisantemi. I love that song, Crisantemi. It's a song about wine. Oh, chrysanthemi, you are onto me. Oh, chrysanthemi. You see?
Is that real, or did you just make that up?
It's about a bottle of wine that's stalking someone around the house that it thinks is cheating on them with a Budweiser.
I seriously can't yell if you're real or not. Like, is that real?
No, but it makes a really good story.
It sounded so. You just delivered it with such it's about a cheating bottle of whiskey.
It's a bottle of wine who suspects its owner of cheating on them with a Budweiser. And so it follows.
Ace, Mankey is a Pokemon. Yes. Okay, sorry.
Are we done? Sorry, I can't. I'm gonna have to draw the stalker wide now. I'm sorry, it's getting done. Where's my iPad? After a strange,
Like a Sharpie.
After a strange, painful period, the creator, the Lisieux's artistic director, and the curator of Blanca de la Torre offer us a different perspective for our return to activity, a perspective that brings us closer to something as essential as our relationship with nature. The plants came from local nurseries and will be donated along with a certificate from the artist to 2,292 healthcare professionals, specifically at the Hospital Clinic of Barcelona. I mean, I think the Korean softball team did a better job using sex dolls because donating them would give you a lot more longevity and fun. But the plants are cool.
Yeah, I feel like if you donate plants, like, they're already producing oxygen.
Yeah.
People don't take care of their plants, and it makes me sad.
You are the last person I would imagine in the history of the universe being able to have a plant that lasted more than a week. And you will keep an orchid alive for years. and I don't understand. I don't understand you as a person. Like, I don't understand how you keep a plant alive. I don't understand how you listen to Rammstein, but you have more Hello Kitty stuff than you do goth stuff. I don't understand anything about how you're like just a box of just random toys thrown into a bucket and shook around. And it's like, here's an Ashley. We put all these atoms together, and now we've got this thing. Took what's left over from The Crow and Pippi Longstocking and Rainbow Bright and made it a person.
Oh, Rainbow Bright was so good. Dude, my mom got a bag of dog toys for that thing in your house that causes chaos and barks.
Yeah.
Dodger.
Oh, is that his name? I just call him the
Yes.
dog.
The dog is so funny.
Don't hate me, everybody. I have feelings.
TV Travis.
I'm allowed to feel how I feel.
No, it's okay. No.
Too late.
Like, we like the dog as an entity. We don't like what the dog calls. Anyway, whatever. So I found this bag of it was just his bag, and I'm like, what's in here? And I opened it up, and there's like toys in it, and I'm like pulling out these ropes and stuff with all these cool manky tied slings.
Good use of the word. You're like the word of the day person. You're like, I used the word today.
And so, like, I pull out this thing with feet. It's green, and it looks like a dildo.
What
Like,
that motion you made just then? You were like, it looks like a dildo.
It does. Like, so it's got flat balls for
Okay.
feet. So it's got the balls, and then it's got the dong part.
Balls
And then
in
the dong
shaft.
part has like all these little bristly, like, plastic bristles on them. And I pulled it out of the bag, and I looked at Dad, and I'm like, did Mom buy sex toys?
Did you ask him that?
I did, and Dad, he goes, Ashley, that wouldn't fit in my butt. He
Your
goes, my
dad.
butt's not that big.
I love that so much.
But like, I don't remember why I started talking about this, but the entire bag looked like, oh, and there's fun little noisemaker. And I sit there and played with all this stuff for like 10 minutes till I realized I was playing with dog toys, and then I felt stupid.
There's very little difference in like younger than 3-year-old toys and dog toys. You could walk down the aisle of dogs and you're like, oh, look at this, or walk down the toddler aisle and you find very similar toys.
That is true, because one of them was a banana with crinkle leaves and a squeak. And when I
Yeah.
found out it squeaked, I'm like, this is so cool. And I'm like, can I give
Bingo,
this to my kid?
Yes, as long as the
Or
dog
you
hasn't
just
like
mouth
eaten
it.
it, because they're gonna put it in their mouth and stuff.
Yeah, he's just gonna hump it, and then there's like flies. Stephanie's like, I gave a bunch of stuffed animals to the dog, but apparently like the dog humped it and like chewed on it, and so like flies laid eggs in them, which is super gross.
Yeah, he's real gross. Yeah, he played with all the dog toys, took them outside in the yard, and then yeah, they did get picked up. And they sat out there in the rain one night, and then they got gross, and then there's flies everywhere, and it's fine. It's fine. At some point, you're gonna have to wander around the house and pick up all the things that have found their way into areas you can't see from the back porch. Yeah. But no, he hasn't gotten fixed yet. We're doing that when he's old enough to get fixed. He's still little. He's not even 16 weeks. Like,
Yeah,
he
he's
can't
a
even.
tiny baby.
I went on a walk today, and my watch just now goes, "Did you finish your workout?" I wonder how long I've been walking.
Like, that was pretty generous shit.
Yeah.
Like, do you typically go on 6-hour walks?
Right. No, it knew I was sitting down doing nothing because it only gave me 9 minutes. It thinks I was on an elliptical machine, though. So I don't know what that means.
Your heart rate's been up all day.
Probably so. It is Friday, and you got Friday at the end of a sprint. You got to get all your work done. And Ashley, hey, how long do you think it takes me to get all my sprint work done? So if they give me a 2-week deadline, they give me a bunch of tasks at the beginning of it. Do you think that those are scattered throughout it, or do you think I pretty much nailed them all from Tuesday to Thursday?
I think
the
you
following
flip out
week.
and then do them all, and then you're like,
I am incapable of doing things at a steady pace. It's just balls to the wall, finish them like the second week. I'll do little. I can manage like little assignments and like get pieces of them put together, but like the end of the is just got to do them all.
I've never understood, and this may be like Head Gamer and Adam may be able to clue me in on this, but like if somebody gives me 2 months to do something, I will initially have a burst of either thinking about it or starting it or like writing the title page, and then never effing look at it again until 12 minutes until it's due.
That's been the way I've operated since I was in like kindergarten. Here's your spelling list for this week's spelling test. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that. Now these are fine. This one word looks weird, so I'll remember that one real good.
Yes,
like kernel. Like I can spell every other word on this page, just kind of sounding it out, but this word is a little bit different, and I'll focus on that so I don't screw it up.
yes,
that's usually the way I would do it. Like learning to spell people, I was always like P-opal. I'll just spell it P-opal.
P-opal, yes.
And kernel is colonel.
Like that.
Yeah, colonel.
Colonel is such a dumb, stupid. Colonel is the reason English sucks.
With that, small
Those
town
were the
news.
brain cells I lost. Wednesday. Wait, isn't Wednesday named after weren't the names of the week named after the gods or something like Jupiter?
Thursday is Thor's Day.
Thursday.
I know that for sure. I think that might be the only one. Is Thor?
Voden's Day to Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah.
Voden's Day.
Yeah, Saturday was Saturday. Yeah, there's, and I mean, like English comes from German.
Sunday
Friday.
for soul.
There we go. God, how the hell? Like each one of these is like from a different person. How do you guys know this?
Oh yeah, Saturday didn't come from the Vikings. It came from the ancient Romans, Saturn's Day. But okay, so now that we're going down this trail, real quick, Sunday is for Sol, goddess of the sun, Sun's Day.
Okay.
We call the sun's proper name is Sol. Monday for Mani, or Mani, goddess of the moon. Tuesday is for Tyr, the god of war. I knew that one. Wednesday is for Odin, the raven god, sometimes known as Woden or Woden's Day. Thursday for Thor, god of strength and storms. Friday is for Frigg, the goddess of marriage, Frigg's Day. So everyone should get married on a Friday. Norse gods are cool, man. Norse gods are super duper cool. I've been reading.
You're
Norse
just
mythology
saying that
recently.
because boy.
No, I mean it's really neat. Like they're all just a mess. They're like real humans, except like the Greek gods just all had sex with each other and had babies everywhere, and like 8 other gods. Like the Norse gods are totally different. The Norse gods are a sitcom, while the Greek gods are a drama. The Norse gods are like NBC Thursday night, The Office. That is what they are. The entire thing is nonsense. They constantly get into trouble. That's why I love it so much. I relate better.
Oh, like didn't Loki have sex with a 6-footed horse?
Yes, he did, because he had to distract the horse so that the giant would stop building the wall fast, because they were going to have to give him Freya if he built the wall in time. And they was like, we need to delay him. And Loki's like, I got this. And Loki pretended to be a female horse and then had the Midgard serpent as a child and the big wolf. I forgot what the wolf was. And timeline's jacked, though, because I don't know when the Midgard serpent was around, but I think he was around before Loki had him.
That was so, as far as I know, Loki time traveled. So the serpent was in the future and then went into the past.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he had the Midgard serpent as a child. Like that was, or not as a child. The Midgard serpent is one of Loki's children. And then the big wolf, I can't remember the wolf's name.
Well, how did, I'm going to read a story.
Do
My
that.
brain just exploded.
Fenrir.
Firm to offer balloon rides from Alaska to the edge of space. What the hell's the edge of space? Is that like a restaurant at the end of the universe?
Yes. Welcome to the edge of space. We're serving your food cold, and it's 10 times more expensive than it is on Earth.
It's Alaska, but sucky.
Yeah.
A company wants to use an advanced balloon to fly customers from Earth's surface in Alaska to the highest reaches of the planet's atmosphere. Atmo. I'm going to call it Atmo.
Please do. Please do.
Atmo. Because, saying words are hard. Florida-based startup From Space Perspective plans to use the Pacific Spaceport Complex in Kodiak to serve as one of the launch sites for the vehicle called the Spaceship Neptune. Period.
Okay.
That was so many weird words in a sentence, and I'm like, the entire time my brain's like, "You're gonna mess this up. You're gonna mess this up." Do 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 do. The balloon rides will be manned by a flight crew taking 8 passengers in a pressurized capsule suspended beneath a hydrogen balloon the size of a football stadium. Dear Jesus, did no one just set back? Like, how are they insured?
Have you seen the footage of the Hindenburg before?
Wow. Pressurized capsule suspended beneath a hydrogen balloon. Wow.
The size of a football stadium. I have seen the Hindenburg wreck. It's one of the first things I looked up on my Encyclopedia Britannica for my Hewlett-Packard PC back in 1993.
Oh, Steven's adorable.
It had videos, and I was like, Hindenburg, because I like Zeppelins. And it was like, oh, the humanity, and people were dying everywhere, and it blew up, and it sucked. Hydrogen's dangerous, y'all.
Especially when you're dealing with pressurized capsules. That's kind of...
Well, it has to be pressurized, or else they would, as they went up, they would like, I guess if you go up, you don't get compressed. You get like you
Cold.
explode, right? You explode. Like if you submarine, if it were to lose pressure at the depths it dives to, could squish it into the size of a tuna can.
yeah, because you're under so many atmospheres of pressure.
Right, but when you go up, it's backwards, right? You just explode.
Lack of pressure. Yeah,
That's not
you've
how it
got
works.
nothing pressing against your cells, so everything just expands way too quickly.
I don't think that happens. I don't think that's what happens in space. I think you just
I don't...
freeze to death.
Because
You
I
freeze?
know this scene in 2 weeks. Arnold Schwarzenegger, eyes exploding, Mars. Help me. Help me. Help me.
No,
help
yeah,
me.
you freeze.
Total Recall.
Total Recall, but it's not the same. The
It
container,
doesn't happen like that.
Right. The container, if it's not pressurized, the air in it would become problematic, right? But you don't, I don't think you would be a problem. Yeah, Travis said it doesn't happen. We're just spewing falsehoods.
Wouldn't all the air leak? Well, if it's a pressurized cabinet and you release the pressure on it, then all the air would go away and you would just suffocate to death, right?
Probably. And get really cold and freeze. Your eyeballs would freeze first.
But
Imagine
right,
that.
not that quickly. Like you
Yeah.
just die of hypothermia. Well, you would die of lack of oxygen first,
Yeah,
right?
you'd probably die of lack of
Yeah.
oxygen before you froze, which is probably a good thing.
You guys are so smart. This has been the most educational freaking show ever. Like, I'm learning so much.
You imagine this, you put all these multi-talented weirdos with interests in a chat room and you get all this cool stuff.
I don't even effing need Google. I have internet friends.
Screw you, Google. We've got the dorks,
Lol.
the Legion.
That was- Each passenger, yeah, LOD. Wait, I was trying to, I can't remember. Each passenger could pay an estimated $125,000 for 6 hours journey.
Good job. Good job.
Yay! Ka-ching! That's
You
a
did
lot
it.
of money. That's a effing. I mean, I get it. Like, if I had that disposable income, like that might be real cool first date or like propose to somebody.
Oh,
But you'd have to like buy out the whole thing.
yeah, because then it'd be gross. You're like standing next to all these other people in this capsule. Mm.
Yeah, how big's the capsule? And
Mine-
like,
I mean,
like, what do the bathrooms look like? And like, do they serve you food? Like, how swanky is this?
what if you have to pee while you're in the capsule? Like,
Could you pee out a depressurized hole, or would it suck your wiener out the hole via Alien 4?
I played bass for Depressurized Hole back in the early 90s.
That was so good. That was so funny. Thank you. Mark Lester, CEO of Alaska Aerospace Corps, said the high altitude rides will be available from Kodiak in a few years and will support Alaska tourism. Is it technically Alaska tourism if you go into Atmo?
Well, I mean, you're gonna swing by the Bear Claw Theater restaurant on your way.
Oh my god, I want a bear claw. I want a bear claw. I want a hot, sticky bear claw in my mouth right now.
You know, I used to have a bear claw, like a real bear claw off a bear, and I kept it in a Ziploc bag in my closet. It was a real life. It was freaking huge. It was a huge bear claw. One of my dad's buddies was a bear hunter, and he killed one, and he brought it to my dad. My dad was like, "I'm gonna take this home so Steven can see it." And he had it in a Ziploc bag wrapped in napkins. And I took it. I was like, this is awesome. It's like a legit bear. I had it forever, like forever. It started to smell weird, but I kept it in my closet. He also brought me a turkey foot, which was kind of fun. I already chased my friends around with it.
A turkey foot?
Yeah.
Steven, have you ever got an aura of a migraine where you can't see directly in front of you?
Yes.
I have that right now, and I can't see to read.
Oh, you're screwed.
Yep, I
you're
must
about
be a
to
little
have
more stressed than I think I am.
We better get
Well,
you
no,
done
I've
with
never.
the show. You're gonna be fine until you're not. That's the problem.
Well, I've had them before, but I only had them in law school.
Oh, well, yeah, you must be more stressed than you thought.
Yeah, my. Hold on. Okay, I can do this. I just have to look at the sentence above it.
Oh, you're in so much trouble.
No, it's okay. You will have people from around the world who want to come to Alaska and see the northern lights from the edge of space. This is the coolest thing ever. Passengers will begin with a 2-hour ascent to about 19 miles above Earth. They will then be able to post on social media. I'm dying of fire if you go up there and post on social media, you scuzzbug. I can't see. It's
Selfie space. Yeah, you're gonna need it. We gonna need to book it because you're going. If you listen,
I'm not. It's fine. It's just a blood pressure thing. I'm not actually getting a migraine.
That's what you think. That's what I thought too. When I was working from home one day, I'm like, why can't I read? And then all of a sudden, my entire body rebelled against me, and it was the worst. So anyway,
It's great that I have a child.
I'll finish this up for you. Neptune then makes a 2-hour descent under the balloon and splashes down where a ship retrieves the passengers. Oh, cool! You fall into the ocean. That's pretty great.
What?
That's pretty great. It just drops you in the ocean like Apollo 13.
I bet it's this.
It could be. Actually, could be that you did that and now you're working yourself into a migraine space. But the good news is we're going to hit the special section right quick. Jurassic Park tops weekend box office 27 years after release, and that's because it should. Because Jeff Goldblum was never sexier until he was in that movie, and everyone wants to see him on the big screen. Everybody needs a big Jeff Goldblum in their life. Jurassic Park roared back to the top of the box office this weekend, 27 years after the dinosaur adventure film received its original release. When Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park was released in 1993, it topped the box office for 3 weeks, becoming both the highest-grossing film of the year and the highest-grossing film of all time before Titanic came along in 97. To this day, Jurassic Park still ranks 40th on the all-time highest-grossing films list, one of less than 50 films to top $1 billion. With a limited number of movies playing in theaters right now and even less of those movies being new releases, the box office numbers have been perilously low for the film industry. But that lack of new releases has granted theaters the freedom to experiment with bringing classic films back. One classic that showed success this past weekend was Jurassic Park. According to Deadline, Jurassic Park topped the Father's Day weekend box office its first time in the top spot since its original release. The Universal Pictures film played in 230 theaters from June 19th to the 21st, earning $517,000, which says something about our movie industry that a weekend took in $500,000 and was the top film.
Was this during the pandemic too?
Yeah, this was like last weekend. Or a couple weekends ago.
That's such a good movie. Such a good movie.
It is miraculous. I see you there covering one eye and the other eye. It's your brain. It's not your eyes.
It does.
It's your brain.
But it's mainly on the left side. So I feel like if I look, but then it just finds. So it's getting worse. I'm gonna die. That's my life.
It's your brain. You need to drink a coffee and take a nap. That's the only thing that works.
Guys, this has been just
the week from hell. That's what it's been.
Bad news bears.
Bad news bears. News bear left untold. Hey, if you do need to stop the show early, or we need to crank our pace up, you just what the signal is.
I want to try to read it.
This is
it's just like this. If you guys don't know what it is, it's worry free by Plant Therapy. It's got lightning in it.
It's got lightning in it.
Never mind.
This isn't your story to read though, so it's okay. You can take another break.
Okay, good. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll be gone by then.
It won't. You could if you need to go faster, the signal is Steven, stop being so slow. You just say it into the mic. You don't have to like blink 3 times or anything.
I'll just interrupt you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fair.
nice.
Yeah, don't be nice. Treat me like Pam. Pandemic may be contributing to the increase in male genital injuries. I read this. This is great.
What?
For multiple reasons. Researchers from the University of British Columbia are wondering whether the COVID-19 pandemic is to blame for an increase in genital injuries among men in Greater Victoria, after 6 men were treated for such injuries in the region in the span of a week. COVID-19 is coming from our nuts, everybody. In an article from the forthcoming issue of the Canadian Urological Association Journal that was published online Wednesday, researchers from the UBC's Department of Urological Sciences and the school's Island Medical Program share anonymized details of the 6 injuries, which they say are uncommon in the region. In the region meaning Canada, or in the region meaning the groin?
The region.
Is
Do
it
you
common?
call it your nuts Canadian bacon?
Do the Canadians call them Canadian bacon? I don't call them regular bacon. I don't call them ham. You know? Hey,
Spamming.
get a load of my ham. What? No, seriously.
Like, okay.
I got it from the Piggly
I
Wiggly.
like it. Painful erections surrounded by rainbow lightning.
You're spoiling it. You're
Oh,
spoiling
sorry.
it. With a famously elderly population in Victoria, British Columbia, male genitourinary trauma is rarely encountered. We likely do not see more than a handful of cases per year. The 6 injuries included 2 incidents in which men experienced penile fractures. Oh!
That was fun to come back on.
During that's what she said. During heterosexual sex with their partners on top, as well as one instance of painful erection that lasted for 4 days, one instance of a ruptured testicle sustained while riding an all-terrain vehicle, one instance of penile pain resulting from frequent masturbation, and one instance in which a man's penis was bitten by a dog. While these injuries varied in nature, each one relates in some way to COVID-19. So we can examine it and go, okay, the partner on top leaned back too far, bounced wrong, and everything just went sideways.
Came back down and everything went crooked.
Oh, mercy. Y'all be careful out there.
It happens.
Well, when you're trying to do proper, as we've been advised by the Institute of Health, how to have sex during COVID, you have to do the Pythagorean theorem, distance 6 feet between the faces. So the only way to really accomplish that is for somebody to turn the other way. And then, there's only so many different angles.
Just doggy style and go on your merry way, man.
Just get the business done and get back to bed.
Poke a hole in the sheet.
Poke a hole in the sheet. Yes, just like
Reverse
the Puritans.
cowgirl for your health. Lol.
It's a painful erection lasted 4 days. That's somebody who's just like, hey, baby, I'm off work for a while. I'm going to pop 17 Viagra. Let's go to town. And then it just never went down. Oh, the pain. 4 days? I'd have been in that hospital in 4 hours. It says 4 hours for a reason. Like, that guy's never going to be right again. He'll be terrified of having an erection. Like, it'd be so sore.
I don't watch Cinemax anymore.
So sore. I wonder how many times he handled his business while that was stuck that way, hoping it would go down. Yeah.
Business.
Or had somebody else handle it. I mean, whoever around just. I'm tired. Could someone else try this? Like he's sitting with a group of people. It's just.
Wait, look, you're the only people in my bubble.
One instance of the ruptured testicle, that seems normal. The penile pain resulting from frequent masturbation is another person out of work, sitting around with nothing to do. Hey, idle hands are the devil's playground, you know what I mean?
So what about the dog? That raises questions.
The dog bit the man's penis.
Yeah, but I mean, did he stick peanut butter on his nuts or?
Ooh, you went to a much different place than I did.
Look, my brain's making lightning rainbows right now. I can't.
Possibly. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I was thinking maybe it was just a chewy puppy. I was thinking that's maybe what happened. So who knows? We don't have enough
I think it depends on the age of the dog.
Yes, I agree. I think a large dog would be more scary for your large dong, if you know what I mean.
Whoa.
That's pretty good. Wait, no. WTF second. Can you do this?
Okay, I can do this. I'm gonna be like, NASA's smell of space is available as a perfume. Ozone, right?
Yes,
Wha-
ozone perfume. It's
One
it's
thing. No, finish the thought.
I was just gonna say it's just CFCs. That's what it smells like.
Oh no.
Yeah,
You've been I honest to God think that I hurt my brain with this.
you probably do. You could have. Is that post-it note you wrote on still sitting around?
Yes.
Yeah, you did it. You stayed too close in an enclosed space.
Or I've had such a shitty, god awful week with such shitty, god awful things happening that like the relief of doing a show and getting to talk to awesome people made, because that's what happens. Like if you get your blood pressure up and then there's like a sudden release,
Yeah.
you get those little
Yep.
things.
Sudden release. That'll get you every time.
I hate you so much. The one thing most of us earthlings, but I don't need to see the entire word. That's the fun thing about my brain. One thing most of us earthlings may not realize is that outer space smells. Thanks to a Kickstarter campaign, so can you.
Oh, good.
After over a decade ago, NASA chemists developed a scent that mimics the smell of space in order, I hate you, Steven, to give astronauts a whiff of the cosmos before they left Earth's atmosphere. I can't see the first word. Now. The company
Ode to Space.
Ode to Space has gotten its hands on the scent, and you can order a bottle or 10 through its Kickstarter. I'm just going to pretend like I know what all this is. In a video started by Ode to Space, NASA astronaut Tony
Antonelli.
Cannelloni says space smells strong and unique, unlike anything he's ever smelled on Earth. According to Ode to Space, okay, it's getting worse. Others have described the smell as seared steak, grape berries, raspberries.
Grape berries.
And rum, smoky and butter. Smoky and bitter. Bitter makes more sense than butter.
It smells like butter and rum and grape berries and seared steak.
Oh my god, guys, I'm losing my shit. The Ode to Space team got its hands on the recipe. Did I skip a thing? I'm gonna let you read it. I quit.
Okay. The Ode to Space team got its hands on the recipe thanks to determination, grit, a lot of luck, and a couple of Freedom of Information Act requests. So this is the first time the general public will have a chance to experience the smell. A $29 pledge will get you one bottle of Ode to Space, and the company will donate a bottle to a K-12 STEM program. Ode to Space does not have plans to mass produce the scent after the Kickstarter campaign, so if you're thinking of pledging, don't wait too long. That's good to know. That's really good to know.
Why couldn't they get the smell? Like, is that protected?
I guess. I mean, it's a NASA thing, so it's probably not necessarily protected, but they still need the information of what it smells like. I wanted it to smell like a new car. I want space to smell like a new car, but it apparently smells like steak.
I like rum and grape berries.
Is
and
it
smoked butter?
Is it really space, or is it like this is what the inside of a capsule smells like, with you and three other dudes sweating and farting on each other in a vacuum? Like what? I feel like that's more of where these smells come from.
I mean, how would like who like what you need to do is send one of those professional noses into space.
Oh, the wine sniffers.
Yes.
Yeah. Elon wanted sent the rich Corinthian leather in his Tesla.
Lol.
Oh, that's
Corinthian
pretty good.
leather. That sounds like biblical.
Yeah, it's
every time I hear the word Corinthian, I think like two Corinthians.
Two Corinthians. It's the leather made from the covers of old Bibles. So it just stitched together. Good old Corinthian.
Wait,
holy
what's the boomstick where he says Metreon Zinthos and then sneezes? Except that was Teen Titans.
Klaatu Verata.
Ah, there we go.
That was
I knew
it.
You would know that. I
That
feel like
was
you
it.
and TV Stravis would be the only ones that would remember that correctly.
Yeah, Lisa from I Love That Movie just did did Army of Darkness for one of her podcasts.
Nice. I
Yeah,
need to listen
yeah.
to that.
TV's Travis and Lisa from I Love That Movie need to like cross their streams on their podcast, because I feel like Travis would be a great guest for her, and she would be a great guest for Travis.
Oh, that would be such a good idea.
Yeah,
Have
Travis.
you guys done that? Do that.
Yeah, listen to I Love That Movie and get Lisa to be a guest on your show, because she would be awesome. I think it would work out, and then I'd be a podcast matchmaker, and that would make me really happy. Introduce me to this person. Yeah.
She was at Dragon Con, wasn't she?
She was. I went to her live show where she talked about aliens.
That's right, because why did I miss that? Was it because I was pregnant and sleeping?
I think so. No, you had.
Or I was somewhere
it was a Kelly
else.
thing. There was a Kelly thing that morning for book writing.
Okay, yeah, we went to because Kelly was on a panel.
Yeah, so you went to support our friends, and I hung out in the podcast basement pretty much the whole time. Marketing. Not really. Really wasn't that. They're just my favorite people. But yeah, no, Lisa would be great. So I love that movie. Look that up because that's a good show. That's a good show anyway, you guys. Fantastic stuff. Highly recommended. I was on it once. Talked about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it was a good time. Mailbag. We don't have
It's
any.
gone.
What
It's
is?
gone? It's gone. We're good. I can read.
Oh no. This is where the worst part starts.
No, it's fine. I didn't get a migraine. If I get a migraine, I'm just gonna shoot myself in the face. Like, I give up.
Jacob,
Done.
hide the weaponry.
I'm tenacious.
She'll do it too. Like, this will be fine. I still have extra lives. I'll just
I am restarting this effing game.
I will respawn back in my bedroom at the beginning of 2020 where I can warn everyone about this. Man, that would be a cool story. That's what Bladina, the Olive Garden vampire, needs to do. She's also a time traveler who has to go back and stop 2020 from happening the way it has.
This is the best story.
It really is. We're on to something. Where's Kelly when you need her? I need a green light and a what do you call that when writers get paid first and then they write their story?
Being fucking well known and rich.
An advance. That's it. That's
yes,
it.
that.
Yeah. It's the acronym of what you said. An advance. Yes, we need an advance so we can write our stupid story about Bladina, the Olive Garden vampire.
Oh, it was so good. And then like I feel like we could get Crowman Ranahan and all of our like movie people and like Scott could do the sound and like we could have just we could make a movie out of it. It would be glorious.
I'll just go up to Olive Garden and be like, listen, I need to record a movie in here. I just need one booth in the corner and all the breadsticks you have. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think that would be pretty good.
Breadsticks taste like Play-Doh and yoga mats.
It depends
with
on
garlic.
how they seasoned them that day. Sometimes you'll get them real dry, and sometimes you'll get them like glorious, but all of them taste the same the next day as you're burping them up.
Ew!
It sticks in your mouth for the better part of a week. But yeah, man, they're freaking good. I love those breadsticks. Fazoli's had good ones too.
Fazoli's! I remember Fazoli's.
Oh, it's the worst food, but the best breadsticks. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Horseshoes and Hand Grenades for this week. It has been a doozy of a show, and a good one, I think. Thank you, producer Jacob, for making it as glorious as it could possibly be and feeding me and Ashley some words to say to get us from story to story that we wanted to tell. Ashley, I hope you feel better. I hope that migraine...
I do. I think I'm good. I think we're
guess.
good.
I
Either
hope-
that or I've entered in the Twilight Zone.
I have some expired goodie powder, which helps. It should
I heard
solve the
Stephanie
problem.
accidentally huffed some of that today.
She kind of choked on it. You're supposed to just... Goodie powder, there's a technique. I'll explain it to everybody in a Patreon video or something. I'll take some for science, let you guys know how you're supposed to do it. Because there's a way. I mean, Richard Petty's all like, just put it in your mouth and you don't even need water. I'm like, no, Richard Petty, you're wrong.
Ew.
You might
Who's Richard Petty?
He's one of the greatest race car drivers to ever live. Where's Tater at? Get him back over here.
No.
Oh, no.
Petty.
Yeah, Richard Petty, the blue 43, right? Somebody knows. But hey, man, if you like the show, if you like what we're doing, give us a review. It's one of the best ways you can help us out. Another one of the best ways is telling people, telling your friends, calling your mom and be like, Mom, I heard this great show where they give you really factual information, wonderful news. You should check it out. It's really up your alley. And then your mom's going to be like, why did you have me listen to that garbage? And you'll say, because it's good for you. Yeah, 43 STP car. Thank you, Travis. But yeah, have some people around and like tell your friends to listen to the show and come hang out with us because we need more buddies. By the way, if you like buddies, twodorks.net/Discord. Oh my word, it's the greatest community on the history of the planet. You might be thinking, I've been in lots of communities before
awesome.
that are great. No, you haven't. You don't get lost in this one. We love each and every one of you like our own children, except not really. Because, like, you're not a beneficiary on my insurance.
I like you more than my own child. I mean, I love my kid, but, like, I can converse with you guys and I don't have to wipe your butts.
He doesn't do much. They're less
Kind
needy.
of win.
Yeah, they're less needy in the Discord than children.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of give back.
Yes. If you also want to help us in a monetary fashion, patreon.com/twodorks is a wonderful way to do it. Thank you to our newest Patreon subscriber, Oddly Normal One, for pitching us some bucks to help us make all of this stuff work. It means the world to us that you would put money behind these shenanigans. Thank you so much. Also to Adam of Geekheim and Og and our parents for making this show as great as it could be. And we'll leave you guys with these words of wisdom from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. Good words. 'Cause
like the dog toys.
it's something I remember I told Stephanie when we were struggling with Sam in our first year of being parents, and we were walking down the stairs, and I said, Stephanie, we either live through this or we die. Those are the two choices. And I don't plan to die, so let's just push through. That's what you gotta do sometimes.
It's beautiful.
Sometimes you just gotta remember that the only way out is either you do it or you die, and that's pretty good. It worked for me. Love you guys. We'll see you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Bye.